3, 2, 1, roll the footage. Welcome back, everybody, to the Strategy Sprints podcast. I'm your host, Simon Severino, and today we are in LA with former pastor turned multi-laundromat owner, real estate investor, laundromat and real estate specific syndicator and podcaster, helping people find financial freedom through the best kept secret in business. Laundromats. Welcome, everybody, Jordan Berry.
Hey, thank you, Simone. I appreciate it. That was awesome.
I love it. And I was like, what's a laundromat?
Yeah. Well, hey, let me tell you real quick. It's a place with a bunch of washers and dryers where people can go and get their clothes clean, and they do it themselves and they pay you cash up front, and it's an awesome business model.
How many laundromats are there in LA?
Oh my gosh. LA is like the capital of laundromats. I don't know exactly how many, but there are thousands. They're on every other corner for sure.
Do you meet celebrities there?
I have met celebrities there. In fact, it's a funny trend. There's a lot of celebrities, and especially now social media celebrities, who come and do photo shoots in laundromats. And I actually had a short video or a short movie come and film at one of my laundromats. You can actually find it on Amazon Prime. Pretty funny.
How did you find the love of laundromats?
Well, it's a funny story. So I was a pastor, and I was at a point in time where it made sense for me to step away from doing that as a job. And so I was trying to figure out what to do. And we had a little money in the bank. And so I thought we should rent out our house here in Southern California and take our money and go buy a condo in Hawaii and go live on the beach for a little while. And my wife thought, well, we could do that, or we could go buy a laundromat. And so we don't own a condo on the beach in Hawaii, and we do own laundromats now. But the basic idea, the basic concept behind it is we wanted to use our money to put it into a business that was going to help us make money where we didn't have to be there all the time. It's time independent money.
And what's the return of a laundromat if it runs well? Are we talking 3x, 5x, 1.2x?
Yeah. So the average return, I mean, you look at it almost similar to a real estate investment, but the average return is usually between 20 and 35%. And that's cash, unleveraged return if you bought the business all cash. So it can get up much higher than that. And in fact, there's a lot of opportunities to add value to laundromats. And if you add value, I mean, it can be 2x, 3x, 4x what you were expecting.
But even 25 is quite good, because I imagine you can 100% let this thing run by other people. You don't have to really spend more than half an hour per year if it runs well, right?
Yeah. The one caveat to that is that there's two different kind of models, more or less. There's a cash model where people pay coins, and then there's a credit card or app-based payment system. And if it's the coin-based system, you can outsource the collection of the coins, but you're giving somebody access to your cash, and it can be a little bit difficult to track. So that's the one caveat to that. So you may need to be there, at least one time a week to collect money if that's the model you're going with. But if you go card system, yeah, you don't need to do a whole lot.
Like the old school restaurants where you would have to check if people steal your money. But digitize it, you don't have, right?
Yeah, exactly. Using technology to, leverage your time, which is what it's all about, right?
Yeah, and it's funny. Now we trust people more now than because we have machines.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That is pretty funny, actually.
And so, how many laundromats do you own now?
I own 2 personally, but I've also started a syndication group, as you mentioned in the intro, and we're buying up laundromats there also. So, yeah, got a portfolio going.
I love it. And you still like that more than having a house on Hawaii?
Ooh, I don't know about more, but I mean, I like the concept more. And the concept behind having money come in independent of your time or your energy, I mean, that allows you to scale way faster, and maybe I won't have to settle for a condo on the beach in Hawaii. Maybe I can get me a nice house with some land on a beach in Hawaii.
Yeah. This is beautiful. And tell us about the beginnings. What was the hardest thing at the beginning?
Yeah, well, actually, the beginning was really difficult for me because when we bought the business, I didn't have any business experience whatsoever. I didn't have any experience with laundromats whatsoever. I didn't know. I was very naive. And so, I did as much research as I could, but there wasn't a lot of information out there. And so I really relied on the broker that I was working with to help me. And that broker turned out to be not super honest and kind of sold me a laundromat that was not what he said it was. And so when I first bought it, I got in there expecting to be making money right away, because that's what should happen when you buy a laundromat. But I ended up losing a lot of money every single month for a while, because he just wasn't honest with me about how that went. So that was a very painful experience and very painful financially experience. And eventually I started talking to other owners. I found out other people have had that experience. And so that's why I created sort of a resource for people. I figured I paid a lot of money to learn these lessons. Nobody else should have to learn the lessons I learned the hard way, the way that I learned them. So so it was a rough entrance into the business for me. But that's really motivated me. I find that people can go one of two ways when something like that happens. They can either just call it quits, or they can get motivated by it and get better because of it. And so I'm trying to do the latter.
You are somebody, when everybody zigs, you are zagging. So I'm so curious who you pick for the strategy award after one word from our sponsors.
Hey, if you love what you are hearing, you will love our free masterclasses. Go grab them at strategysprints.com.
You can pick only one person. They are zigging when everybody's zagging, but from your perspective, they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to narrow it down to one. I try to fill my life around with people who are doing great things. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick a good friend of mine. His name's Dave Menz, and also known as the Laundromat Millionaire. And one of the things that he's doing well is he's just putting out a lot of content to really try to help, not only help this industry grow and for people in the industry to get better, but also he's trying to introduce this industry to people who, maybe don't know anything about laundromats and how great of a business it can be. So Dave Menz, the Laundromat Millionaire, is who I'm recommending.
You now just hang out with laundromats millionaires?
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey man, if you're gonna hang out with somebody in laundromats, might as well hang out with the Laundromat Millionaire, right?
3 books that inspired you most.
Again, man, it's really hard to narrow it down to 3, but I gave it a shot. Number 1, I'm going to go with the 4 Disciplines of Execution. That book for me, I'm a very big idea person. I love to think about big ideas. I like to be creative, and I like to get things really started. And then it's really hard for me to kind of keep them going because I have another new idea that I want to get going. But the 4 Disciplines of Execution gave me a really good blueprint on how to really get stuff done and to kind of keep them going. So that one is number 1. Number 2, Principles by Ray Dalio. I love that book. I think Ray Dalio had a lot of really great wisdom for business and business owners. So if you haven't read that one, I would highly recommend that. But also just great principles for life. So Ray Dalio, Principles. And then the third one that I'm going with, again, really difficult to narrow it all down, but Start with Why. And the reason I really like that one is because, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, there's so many ups, there's so many downs. In a single day, I can be, this is amazing, I love every second of it, to what am I doing? I'm going to quit, and I could do that 2 or 3 times in a day, even sometimes. And I'm generally pretty even keeled, but still, as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of ups and downs. But that book, Start with Why, really help me to figure out how to anchor that. And the why is why I'm doing things and how I'm feeling about things. I try to make that irrelevant as to whether or not I'm actually going to do them. Sometimes I don't feel like doing stuff, but I can hold on to that why, that big why that I have, and push through however I'm feeling, up or down, and do them anyway. So start with why. Third book.
The CEO tip that you share with us is about how to become the expert in your field. Can you unpack that?
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned, through starting a podcast and having a blog and a YouTube channel and stuff, is that I originally thought that, I had to be an expert and know everything, because, when you put your name out there, you're kind of on the line. But a big CEO tip that I have learned over the last couple of years is, borrow other people's experiences, their wisdoms, their insights, by introducing your customers to them, to your network, right? And you want to be working with people that are doing great things, that have a good abundance mindset, but when you introduce people to your network that can help them in their businesses or in their life, that all that comes back and reflects on you. And so you kind of almost get credit for your network's ability to, offer wisdom, offer insight, offer help to people. And so that really can build your expertise, even in areas where you may not originally be an expert in. And the ways that I share my network with my clients and my customers is I have a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel, and also through email marketing and including my network and in those email blasts that I do.
So you do cross promotions via email?
Yeah, sometimes cross promotions, or I'll just drop in a line where, hey, Dave Laundromat Millionaire Men's, always says this, and here's what I think about that, and here's how you can apply that to your situation, and really not relying necessarily 100% on yourself to come up with all the content, to come up with all the wisdom and all these insights, or whatever you're trying to do to help your customers, but really using your network and helping each other out in order to help your customers out.
I love the approach, because it takes a village, right? To raise a child, it takes a village to be a community. It takes a village, really, and we are connected and we are dependent. Why not let everybody bring their superpowers together and just connect the dots?
Yeah, exactly. And I found that when you do that, like I said, and people attribute that to you. So if you're associating yourself with high quality people, with you have a high quality network, people are automatically going to assume that you're a high quality person too, that you have a lot to offer, whatever their situation is, whether it's in products or services or whatever your business is in.
Beautiful. And what are you excited about looking forward with your business?
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to acquiring more laundromats and real estate, commercial real estate, through the syndication group that I have going on. It's called Diligence Capital Investments. There's a team of 3 of us who we really, we know the industry well, and we really feel like we can bring a lot of value to the laundromats that we're buying and the real estate that we're buying, and in turn to those communities that we are influencing through the laundromats and stuff, but also through investors that are partnering with us. We're adding a lot of value there too. So I'm really excited about that. One of the other things that I'm super excited about is I mentioned how I had a rough entrance into laundromat. So I started a company called Laundromat Resource, and that is a company that provides a lot of information, tools, and also networking abilities for people who want to get into the business. And I'm actually putting on the first ever digital conference this year for laundromat owners. I know there's about 40,000 laundromats in the United States, and they're kind of all over the world. So I'm really excited about that conference that's happening later in October also.
October, everybody. If you have a laundromat or plan to buy one and run one, please, October. This is your man, Jordan.
That's
Berry.
right. Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. Jordan, where can people stay in touch with you?
Yeah, well, laundromatresource.com is a good place to find all the stuff that that we're offering over there. My email address is Jordan, Jordan, at laundromatresource.com. So feel free to email me there. And then, Laundromat Resources on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, all that stuff too. So you can find us all those places.
And what's the future of laundromats? Will we have laundromats discotheques, laundromats library when people have to wait there? What will happen?
Yeah, good question. I think a couple different things. So there are people doing a lot more creative things. People are putting coffee shops in laundromats. There's even laundromats coming out with bars in them, where you can, get bars, and they tend to be a little bit higher scale. And so they're doing a lot of, just fancier decor and, just good atmosphere is what they're looking for. But the other thing that's really starting to happen a lot right now is pickup and delivery service with laundromats, where, they're just you're placing an order online for somebody to do your laundry, and these laundromats are sending out trucks to pick up laundry and bring it back and wash it for you and then take it back to you. And so I think that this last year has really accelerated the growth of that part of the industry. And I think that's only going to continue to grow. Nobody really likes to do laundry. And so having somebody come pick it up from your front door and bring it back to you clean, dried, folded, and ready to put away, it's a very attractive model. So I think that's a big part of where this industry is going too.
And what will be the lineup of the October conference? What will be the topics?
Well, I mean, obviously Dave, the Laundromat Millionaire, is going to be there speaking, headlining. But we'll talk about all kinds of topics from, how to buy your first laundromat, how to run an effective laundromat, how to start a pickup and delivery service. There'll be, topics on what's the future of the industry. There'll be topics on technology going into this business right now. It's been a traditionally pretty slow to evolve technologically. It's been pretty archaic, but there's a lot of new technology coming out now. So it'll be interesting to explore that stuff. So we'll cover everything from newbies to the advanced. I have some friends who own 40 plus laundromats. And so we'll have some stuff for them, and we'll have stuff for people who don't even know what laundromats are.
Beautiful. And Mariam Lyle is saying, hey, please write in a comment the name of the books. So okay. Yes, I'm happy to do it, Mariam. I will do it right in a second. And thank you so much, Jordan, for being here, for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us. Who should be my next guest?
Well, I mean, I feel like you got to have Dave, Laundromat Millionaire Men's coming on, because he's not only is he, really great guy in the industry, but he actually just started a business podcast too. It's called Laundromat Millionaire Business Podcast, but it's about business in general. And so I think he'd be interesting for you to talk to, about business, and you're working with a lot of business owners and stuff. And he just has a really, really great mindset about how he thinks about business. And I've learned a lot from him. I've grown a lot from him. I think your audience would grow a lot from him too.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being here, Jordan. Everybody who has a laundromat or wants one, go to the October conference, Jordan Berry, everybody. And please come back soon.
Avoid trying to do thousands of things that doesn't work. We have 274 templates for your business success. Reach your ambitious goals with one-on-one sprint coach. We double